I know I have already talked about this subject, but I wanted to get back to it because recently a few more members of the squad have been on the target of the FBI due to ethic complaints. But it isn't going to be just a matter of that, though. The subject of this video is going to be regarding how the squad cares more about power than the people. Because it's pretty ironic, right? During the midterms, during the 2018 midterms, the four members of the squad, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and Ayanna Presley, they were campaigning on the people. That the people deserve more power, that the people need to feel like they're more represented. They were all about the people. But one thing that I hate more than anything is how, ironically, the party of the people, which is the Democrats, I don't know if they even are the party of the people anymore, they have more corruption than most Republicans in the last in the last 2 years. Because like what? Ever since it got elected, it's just scandal after scandal because of them. But you know what they focus on? They focus on Donald Trump, Russia great, Ukraine gay, and etc. It's all a bunch of nonsense. So while the media tries to smear Trump with fake scandals, why aren't they talking about the real scandals going on in their own party? Oh, because they're the media. They care more about bashing Trump than they actually care about reporting the news. But like I said, we're gonna be talking about the problems with the squad and how usually the left, especially people like Bernie Sanders, they're inconsistent with their ideologies because what they believe is that everyone, the common individual, the working man and woman, they should abide to the government, but the people up the top, they don't have to abide by the rules. I'm going to ask you this, and I'm going to tell you, and hopefully you guys know the answer to this if you don't. But under socialism, because that's usually what these people advocate for. AOC and Bernie advocate for socialism. Ilhan Omar advocates for Sharia law, which technically under Sharia law, I could be wrong, but under Sharia law, she would be stoned to death because of what she has done in the past. Not in the past, but what she has recently been accused of, and she confirmed it herself yesterday. I think it was yesterday or a few days ago. So it's very hypocritical. These people champion for an idea, but the moment the doors close, the moment the cameras are turned off, they go and they literally break all the rules that they want us to follow. Like I said, I'll ask you this. Under socialism, we'll go with AOC and Bernie. Do you think there's a 1% under socialism? If you say no, then you're wrong. There is a 1% under socialism. I want to ask you, do you think Nicolas Maduro is out there in the streets with the people of it, with the people of his country, picking trash, eating garbage out of the trash cans, or hunting down zoo animals because they need to eat? No. The guy's wearing nice clothing, has a roof over his head, fancy house, fancy food, five-star foods everywhere that he gets. That guy's living in riches. And just so you know, even Venezuela has its own 1%. Yet the elite even said, in many cases, the elite they question whether or not they should care about their country falling apart. There is a 1% under socialism. The difference is that under socialism, that money is stolen and the people are coerced. Capitalism doesn't work that way. In capitalism, you can become more part of the 1% when you start from the bottom, and you can easily stop being part of the 1% if you make bad decisions with your money. A good example of the beauties of capitalism is the newest member of the 1%, one of the newest members, Bernie Sanders, the man who hates the rich and the man who wants to take away more in taxes from our paychecks. Yeah, that guy. It's ironic too, because it's talking about the hypocrisy of the left, especially with people like Bernie Sanders, AOC, and the members of the squad. If you look back in 2016, Bernie Sanders attacked both the millionaires and the billionaires. But ever since he became a millionaire, you ever hear Bernie say the millionaires and the billionaires are the problem in this country? No, all he says is billionaires now. Why? Because he became a millionaire. At that point, the millionaires are no longer the problem. They are the billionaires. The billionaires are the only problem now. See, that's the problem that I have with the current Democrats, is that they're very hypocritical. AOC and the Democrats, they are against school choice. They want kids to go to failing schools based on their zip code, but she sends her goddaughter to a charter school. Wow, very hypocritical. But we're gonna go back to AOC in a bit. But we're talking about Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar, if you're not aware, she was accused of having an affair with a political consultant by the name of Tim Minette. His ex-wife, she accused Ilhan Omar of stealing her husband after he actually admitted that he had He loved Ilhan Omar in a way that is not as a friend, but an actual lover. Ilhan Omar, she denied the accusations. She said, nope, that is not true, that is not true, that is not true. And then what happens? She announces her marriage to Tim Mynett. I think it was what? It was the 12th. Yeah, from yesterday. Apparently she announced it yesterday. Or at least that's from the article that I'm reading from Town Hall. She lied about this. She said, oh, that's not true. I am not in an affair. And then look, she marries Tim Mynett, the person she was accused of having an affair with literally yesterday. And she announced it herself. She said, my private life is no one's business. And yet she posted a picture herself. Kind of ironic, is it? Well, from Town Hall, we'll read a little bit about this. Why Ilhan Omar's new marriage looks like an ethics nightmare. Now, I'll tell you this right now. I don't care if she remarried. I don't care if she had an affair. She can do her. She can what? I don't care. That's not the problem. The problem is she's one of the people who accuses Trump of corruption. Meanwhile, she engages in corruption. You can't call that corruption. Meanwhile, you're engaging in it. You want to know what it looks like to me? You only care about being in the ivory tower. You only care about being in the millionaires club and the rich people club. And then once you get in, you champion them. It's like, oh, I'll get you guys in. And then you turn around and it's like, ha, what a bunch of losers. They actually think I'm going to let them into this club. That's the problem that I have with these kinds of people. This is real little bit, shall we? So that's the background. She was accused of having an affair with her political consultant, Tim Mynett. She denied it multiple times, and now she has come out and saying that they're married. People don't get married overnight unless they're incredibly dumb. But you have to be dating someone for a period of time in order to at least to decide whether or not you want to get married. Now, whether or not they've been dating for a long time, that's not, I don't know. But the issue here is that this could possibly lead up to an ethics complaint, not to mention a crime because it is illegal. Because apparently she's been accused while under her affair, she used her campaign money to privately fund this guy's travels in order to spend time with her, which is illegal, by the way. Well, if you're going to announce this, you might as well drop it during the night of the president's address on the Wuhan virus. Representative Ilhan Omar, a Democrat from Minnesota, has married the lefty political operative Tim Mynett, whom she denied dating. She did deny it. Mynett also received hundreds of thousands of dollars from Omar's campaign. The two were reportedly carrying out an affair, which the New York Post reported on September of 2019. Alas, everyone lies, and that is especially applicable to politicians. Yep, I have a very cynical view of government, to be honest with you. The Minnesota Democrat posted the news on Instagram via Fox News. Representative Ilhan Omar shared some very personal Wednesday night. She's a new bride. The Minnesota Democrat posted on Instagram a photo of herself and her former political consultant, Tim Mynett. Got married, from partners in politics to life partners, so blessed. Alamud, I don't even know how you pronounce that. Alhamdulillah, I don't even know how to pronounce. I'm sorry, I do not wish to offend. I do not know how to pronounce that. I do not want to butcher this pronunciation. So I'm just gonna assume it was some sort of celebratory term. She wrote in the caption, ending with the Arabic word that translates to English, "Praise to be God." Okay, there. Okay, I guess that's what it means. Okay, so that's what she said. Praise to be God. Sorry, praise be to God. Sorry. The Star Tribune has more on the union between the Congresswoman and the lefty consultant. Her campaign doled out $500,000 to Wills, also carrying out this tryst. Got married from partner. Okay, I already read that. Allegations of a relationship between Omar and Mynett soared last year and brought much scrutiny on the freshman Congresswoman. Her relationship with Mynett is at the center of the Federal Election Commission complaint alleging that money Omar's campaign committee paid to Mynett and his firm for travel expenses for personal use. Omar's campaign paid Mynett's company E Street Group more than $500,000 last year for consulting, advertising, fundraising, and travel. Omar's marital history also comes under political fire last year after she came to light that she and Hersey filed taxes jointly while she was illegally married to another man. Ahmed Nur Saeed Elmi, I think you pronounce it. She married Elmi during what she described as an impasse in her relationship with Hersey. The marriage with Elmi illegally ended in 2017, several years after she reunited and had a third child with Hersey. Yeah, her marriage story is another story entirely, but this union is an ethics minefield that many have noted should be brought under the microscope. It's a dirty union indeed. I'm going to stop right there. Like I said, the problem here isn't the fact that she cheated. I don't care. People will cheat. They're humans. Is it a nice thing to do? No, it's not. It's not. I consider that very, very evil. But the problem here isn't that she cheated. A lot of people are going to say, oh, they're just investigating her because she cheated on her husband. That's not the issue. The issue is not the problem that she cheated. The problem is that she used her campaign money to fund the travels of her lover for private use, which is illegal. And then she even denied the accusation, saying that they were dating. And now she comes out herself admitting that they are now married. You can't just marry someone overnight. You have to date them, get to know them for a while. If any girl or any guy, depending on whichever role you like to take, if you're listening to this video, I dare you to go out to someone, ask them, "Hello, would you marry me?" And they'll tell you no. They said, "No, I don't know you." Right? If she says they weren't dating and then suddenly they're married, how does that even work? You know what I mean? That's the problem. She says Donald Trump is corrupt. We need to fight corruption, and then she engages in corruption. But now let's go back to AOC. Now I don't know if you were aware, but one of the things that I don't know if she's still in the race. Actually, I think she is. But apparently, as of the 12th of yesterday, if you're watching the video instead of just listening, but if you are watching, if you do have it on YouTube, just turn off the screen for activate the screen, turn it on, and that way you can see the picture of one of AOC's opponents for election for her seat. Her name is Maria Caruso Cabrera. Okay, this is her, the person who's running against AOC, and then the title reads, "Why I ran for the first time. Michelle Caruso Cabrera is a jobs first candidate." Now, the problem with AOC, like I said, she's very hypocritical. She will say that, oh, school choice is bad. We shouldn't have school choice. And then she gets her goddaughter into a private school. Not a private school, sorry, a charter school. See, it's very hypocritical. Bernie will tell us that the rich are the problem, and yes, he's rich. This is why pretty much I left the left. Because it's just a bunch of hypocrisy. Donald Trump, sure, he doesn't have the best attitude, but at least the guy's consistent. The guy's gonna say climate change is not real, is not happening, and yet he brings up a freaking gigantic plane to take him there. I don't like it because I think we should have at least cleaner air. I'm not a crazy climate change nut job though. I do believe we should have cleaner parks, cleaner streets, cleaner air, But at least the guy's consistent. Bernie Sanders isn't consistent. The guy's gonna say the millionaires and billionaires of Wall Street are the evil people of this country. Oh wait, what's that? I just made $1 million selling a book? Okay, the billionaires are the problem in this country. That's the problem that I have with Bernie. AOC is gonna say, well, we should have we shouldn't have school choice because we need to invest in public school. Oh wait, my goddaughter's in a private school? Okay, well, let's not tell him that. And then Ilhan Omar is going to say that she is not in an affair, that she is not breaking any laws, and that Donald Trump is corrupt, and then boom, she gets slammed with an ethics complaint. Therefore, even admitting that she literally married this guy, her political consultant, therefore validating that there was probably some shady deals when it comes to the financing of what that money was used for when it came to using her campaign money to fund his use to travel to see her, right? That's the problem that I have with the left. But now let's go to Caruso Cabrera. Now, I'm not in New York. I'm from California, or I like to call it California, because I don't like California at all anymore. I think it's gone too far left. But anyways, that's not the point. Let's go with Caruso Cabrera. I'm gonna read a little bit about her, what she said in this interview, because to some degree I've looked up some history about her. I've seen what she stands for, and I know some of you might not like it, but based on what she says, if I lived in New York, I will probably vote for her. Probably. I don't know anyone else because I'm not a tribalist. I like to say, okay, what are your policies going to affect me in my personal life? What are your kitchen table issues? That's all I care about. Kitchen table issues. That's all I care about. How am I? How are you going to increase, my ability to find a job, right? Or my possibilities to find a job? How are you going to increase jobs in the country? You know what I mean? That's the thing that I want to know. Kitchen table issues. But let's talk about it, right? I'll read the title again. Why I ran for the first time, Michelle Caruso Cabrera is a jobs first candidate. The former CNBC business and economics correspondent is taking on Democratic superstar Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and hopefully she wins. If you're from New York, if you're watching this from New York and you live in New York and you live in AOC's district, I swear, I'm not really sorry, but I implore you, if you really want a politician who's gonna fight for you, don't pick AOC. It's clear she's inconsistent. It's clear she's a hypocrite. Because she doesn't care. She doesn't care about people like us. The squad and Bernie, they're going to say, oh, we're fighting for the people. Meanwhile, they live in mansions. They live in houses that are like that the everyday American, they don't live in. I live in an apartment. Hopefully, I can upgrade to a house later in the future. But I can't relate to Bernie Sanders. I can't. What Bernie Sanders says is that we will take money from the 1% and we will give it to you. The problem is that when it comes to the left and the conservatives, is that the left cares about redistributing the wealth, taking away wealth and giving it to other people. What conservatives do, and which I respect, is creating more wealth. When I see Donald Trump I don't see Trump as a guy who says, you know what? I don't see when I see Trump. Sure, he's a guy who has a bad attitude, but you know what? When I look at him, I look at the guy that says, you know what? I want to be as rich as Donald Trump one day. That's how I look like when I see Trump. When I see a successful person like Jeff Bezos, I look at him and say, you know what? Hopefully, some point, me or my children will be as successful as Jeff Bezos. You want to know what Bernie talks about? He talks about taking the wealth of successful people, people who've worked hard, took the risk to make that money, meanwhile, sharing it to people that have no incentive, who do not want to work, or those who do work complain about working. That's the problem that I have with the left. The right is all about creating wealth. The left is all about taking it away and giving it to people that are so-called marginalized. But anyways, enough with my rant. Let's hear a little bit about Caruso Cabrera. Prior to jumping into the race to represent New York's 14th congressional district, Michelle Caruso Cabrera was a longtime CNBC correspondent and anchor who covered business and economics. Okay, we'll skip that for a bit. We'll skip that. That's pretty much the background. Basically, she used to be the correspondent for CNBC, and now she's pretty much pissed with AOC, so she's running, right? Right. Anyways, it's going. A lot can happen in 3 months, especially in politics, especially in presidential election year. Chandler caught up with Caruso Cabrera to discuss her reasons for getting into the race, what her legislative approach might look like, and why challenging a seemingly popular figure within the party is necessary. Let's see what she had to say. And this, I'm going to be reading from, apparently the interview is as Makita Rivas, I think it's pronounced. It's not my intention to mispronounce the names, and this is between Caruso Cabrera. So Rivas says, can you talk about what inspired you to run? Walk us through your decision walk us through your decision-making process a bit. Caruso Cabrera responds with, I am the daughter and granddaughter of immigrants. I believe in the American dream. So do the people of the Bronx and Queens. I don't want to be a national star. I want to be a congresswoman to the people of the Bronx and Queens and bring jobs to the district and not drive them away. Thank you. That's what I like to hear. Did you guys know that AOC apparently is going to be a guest judge on RuPaul Charles' Drag Race? Did you know that on the newest season? I'm just curious. What does being a guest judge help your district whatsoever? And that's the problem that I have with AOC. I feel like AOC only cares about being a celebrity rather than actually being an actual congresswoman. Let's read a little bit more. Rivas asks, at what point did you decide you were done with the Korean media and more interested in exploring politics? Cabrera responds, I decided to enter politics when Ocasio-Cortez did what she did to Amazon. When she threw away those 25,000 jobs, I just couldn't believe it. To tear away so many jobs from people who really want jobs, that's when I started to get into politics. And that I agree with as well. Jobs are probably the most common way of getting income. You need a job, right? You get a job, pays you money. So when 25,000 jobs are lost because of AOC's problem with Amazon, I will be pretty pissed. Imagine all the people that were excited, like, oh my god, I finally get to work. It's a great opportunity for me. I get to get some more income. And then AOC says, nope, Amazon's not coming. And then you look at it like, wait, what? If those 25,000 people who are gonna get those jobs still vote for AOC come November, they deserve what they got. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be cruel, but if the person who took away your jobs, the person who took away your jobs, your opportunity to work, if you still vote for her come November, you deserve what you get. You deserve to be unemployed because you voted for the person who took away your opportunity to put food on the table. Those 25,000 people better remember AOC because she's going to be known, and they better know her as the person who took away their opportunity to get a job and put more food on the table. A little bit more. Rivas asks, what bothers you so much about her stance on Amazon? Cabrera responds with, the people live in this part of the Bronx and the Queens remind me so much of my grandparents. Many of them are recent arrivals to the United States or their parents are immigrants. When my grandparents arrived, they worked the overnight shifts. They work in the meatpacking industry. Those were hard times. They did whatever they had to do to put food on the table. It's a dangerous job. When I see 25,000 jobs being thrown away for a district full of recent arrivals, first generation and second generation families, I think it's a travesty of justice. Rivera's presents a counterpoint, however. Well, Amazon was getting all these tax breaks. Why should we pay for this billion-dollar company to have its second headquarters there? What's your argument against that? And then Caruso Cabrera responds with, subsidies aren't giving a company money. Think about it this way. A subsidy means that they're going to pay $27 billion in taxes instead of $30 billion in taxes. You can't say, oh, we could use that $3 billion. We can use the $3 billion for something else. The $3 billion isn't going to come if the business doesn't come. It's a discount. And that's what people don't understand. When Bernie Sanders talks about, we need to stop giving tax breaks to the millionaires and billionaires, a tax break isn't giving the company money. It's literally discounting them money. That's what people don't even understand. But hopefully Caruso Cabrera clear it up for you guys. But again, based from what I'm hearing, based on what she's talking about, she sounds a lot like Donald Trump when it comes to kitchen table issues. Donald Trump promised we would get more jobs, and we got more jobs. He promised that the economy will get better, and what? The economy has gone way better. Depending on what's going on with the COVID-19. If you know what it means, I'm not gonna say the other word because apparently I can't say it on YouTube. But I'm gonna go with that, COVID-19. But that's again, if anything, Caruso Cabrera sounds a lot like Trump's rhetoric in 2016. Bring back jobs, put more money in people's pockets, and anything. I'm pretty sure he's going to be labeled as a conservative by AOC. But again, that's the problem that I have with the squad and Bernie and the leftists nowadays. They champion for the people, and then as soon as the cameras turn off, they don't care about us. They really don't. I know it sounds harsh, but they really don't. Even my mom is fed up with the Democrats now. After seeing what happened with Bernie, how he praised Cuba, my mom's not Cuban, but she's Hispanic, and she lived through it. She lived through the Cold War. She was born in the 70s. She was born in 72. She's old enough to remember what the Cold War was like in Mexico, and she pretty much knew about what was going on in Venezuela and Cuba. So, again, the left doesn't care about the people. They have scandals after scandals. They will accuse Trump of corruption every single day, but they engage in corruption. How can you trust that? I don't trust them at all. But let me know what you guys think about this. If anything, first of all, for the people in New York, if you're watching this and you're from New York, are you going to vote for Caruso Cabrera? Do you agree with my opinion that saying that she sounds a lot like Trump in 2016? Bring back jobs, put more money in people's pockets. Do you think Ilhan Omar is going to get convicted of the ethics complaint that she's being investigated for? Do you trust AOC, the squad, Bernie Sanders? Do you trust them? And if you do, explain why. And if you don't, explain why you don't trust them. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and then share the video. Share with your friends. If you know people that are strong supporters of the left, like Bernie, AOC, Ilhan Omar, share this with them. Help me break some echo chambers. That way they start seeing that the people of the party of the people is not the party of the people anymore. I'll see you guys next time.